The government's zombie apocalypse is spreading and could come to an emergency management centre near you. This is Barn of the Dead and this is Zombie News. Okay, so a few weeks before the government's Zombie Awareness Month in October, FEMA's monthly webinar Thursday discussed the success of the Centres for the Disease Control Zombie Preparedness campaign and how other centres can use pop culture references, even fictitious ones like The Walking Dead, to promote gearing up for real disasters. Almost 400 emergency management professionals tuned in to nationwide, according to an official at the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Zombie preparedness messages and activities have proven to be an effective way of engaging new audiences, particularly young people who are not familiar with what they do during or after a disaster. Dante Randazzo of FEMA's Individual and Community Preparedness Division said during the webinar, "It's a great way to grab the attention and increase interest of the general public." He said the original zombie campaign, which the CDC launched in May 2011, succeeded in educating more members of the public about real emergencies while keeping government costs relatively low. After all, preparation for a zombie apocalypse isn't especially different from preparation for a number of other disasters, such as the CDC Zombie Apocalypse Education Programme, recommendations to build an emergency kit with food, water and medications, planning an evacuation route and pick a meeting in place to regroup. Maggie Silver, one of the CDC zombie campaign's masterminds, said she hears about zombie campaign copycats almost every week and they call it Zombie Nation. It has spread to health departments, libraries and universities, as well as Canada's version of the CDC, she said. People were starting to realise they need to work outside the box a little bit and try and get some new ideas. They saw the CDC an example of something that worked. We're trying to get our message out there. During the webinar, Silver said she often asked, "Why zombies?" As it turns out, the idea came from responders after the CDC asked its followers what they were prepared for after March 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan. Responders tweeted real disasters like earthquake and hurricane, but the Silver said officials also noticed a lot of zombie tweets. We decided to keep that in the back of our minds as we were planning for future events. Of course, when hurricane season came around, we wanted to spice up our general preparedness message. We decided why not give the people what they want. CDC officials used existing content but refreshed it with zombie themes. They started with a tongue-in-cheek blog post and linked to other emergency pages. We have a very small office and an equally small budget, so we had to do something that wasn't going to take a lot of manpower or dollars. They had no idea it would take off the way it did. The blog site crashed in 10 minutes as more than 30,000 people tried to read their 101 on zombie preparedness. Overall, the page had more than 60,000 views an hour. Eventually, traffic flowed to the main website. You pull them in with the zombies and then they stay to check out your other content, she said. Liana Gamba-Thompson, a postdoctoral researcher at University of Southern California. So things really seem to be taking off. Zombie promos reached Kansas last year when its government officials launched an unofficial Zombie Preparedness Month at Kansas State Fair. Webinar speaker Devon Tuckins-Strickler said they wore black and green t-shirts with zombie silhouettes bearing the slogan, "Are you prepared for the unexpected?" For the first time when I talked about disaster preparedness to people, they actually paid attention, looked me in the eye and had a conversation with me. I mean, what can you say? What better way to draw people in, to get themselves prepared for any kind of disaster than preparing if there was a zombie apocalypse? I think it's fantastic. I'm Robbo, or Barn of the Dead, and this was Zombie News.